Why did this fail so hard? Why did it take the Captain America legacy and just take a dump all over it? Well, because this is when we started to realize that these MCU shows are rushed out cash grabs. And this might be one of the worst examples of it. Now again, we're not reviewing the two absolute worst projects until the tier list, but this one has an especially bad taste in my mouth as the most disappointing of them all. This is a show that bored me to absolute tears. This is a show that had so much potential, and then it just immediately took a dump on all of it. It was going to be the big follow-up to see who was going to become the next Captain America, going to more about the symbolism of the shield and what it means to people and the impact it has on society. And they did absolutely none of that. Aside from John Walker. And even then, that whole thing, as well done as it was, extremely controversial. So if you can tell, I'm not exactly excited to talk about this one, but the good news is, until the tier list, after this review, I never have to talk about it again. So, let's get it over with, and why it flopped so hard. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, which is your fan thing, everything animation, clean Marvel heroes uniting to defend the world as well as TV and movies. I'm your host, Jackson Small. This is my review of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. A show that should have been so much better than it ended up being. It may not get an actual, bad score from me, but in my opinion, this show sucks. And it is the most disappointing out of all these Marvel shows, because after I saw this, I pretty much dumped all my other expectations for any of these Marvel shows all the way down, as far as they could go. You have the idea of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and trying to figure out who's about to become the next Captain America. Because Falcon is not ready. So, what does it do instead? A lot of boring exposition dumping that leads to nothing. Until, I guess the final episode where Sam finally takes up the Captain America mantle. In short, if you're one of the people like me that absolutely freaking hated freaking Brave New World, you're gonna hate this too, because it's the same damn writers. And outside John Walker, this thing has nothing worth talking about. Oh, let's not forget the fact that it made Falcon and Bucky hate each other. For pretty much no reason. This show's so freaking stupid. Let's just get into the review. While I didn't have much expectation for WandaVision, this one I actually had some hope for, as its goal was to decide who was going to carry on the mantle of Captain America, after Steve decided to return to his lost love in the past, as well as promising a deeper look into the symbolism of the shield, and how it inspires others even in modern times despite being old-fashioned. Not to mention that you have two of the greatest side characters in the MCU, Falcon and Winter Soldier, attached to it. So, how in the hell is it, despite having all of that, did it end up so unremarkable and boring? I'm by no means against Sam Wilson as Captain America, and I appreciate that the African American community has yet another superhero in the MCU to inspire them, alongside Black Panther. But man, was the writing in this show bad. Just like WandaVision, it tries to do too much at once, but whereas WandaVision had a promising first half, Falcon and Winter Soldier only has select moments of promising ideas, muddled by the same problems in every freaking episode. Even the whole John Walker arc, the best thing this show had going for it, felt lackluster, and until his redemption in Thunderbolts, felt completely insignificant in the grand scheme of the story. Then you add on painfully slow pacing, uninspired action that looks good but has no life to it, obnoxious exposition dumping, and so many moments of bafflingly awful storytelling. And you have a very disappointing, barely coherent mess that just sinks this fourth phase even lower than its already underwhelming beginning already did beforehand. It's not the worst show in the MCU, but it is without a doubt the most disappointing. This show just makes me sad every time I have to think about it because it had so much potential and they just did nothing with it. And it is a huge shame because this really could have been something cool. But instead, the writers decide to take the easy way out, and as a result, it just ends up a below average, mediocre mess. And because of that, final verdict for Falcon and Winter Soldier is a damning 4 out of 10. It's an insult to the Captain America legacy, and the fact that the same writers were brought back for Brave New World, yeah, no wonder that movie sucks. It could have been something great, but they decided to just half-ass it, in every single capacity. It may not get a bad score, but in my opinion, this show absolutely sucks. And was the first indicator that this fourth phase of the MCU was an absolute disaster. And that's all I got. So thank you guys so much for watching. I got a little angry in this one because it just disappoints me and really makes me sad how this show turned out, because it could have been something great had they just taken the time to actually write it correctly. But instead, we get this crap. And that's it. That is literally all I have to say about Falcon and Winter Soldier. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for better videos almost every single day. And thankfully next time, we get to actually turn back to the positive because we get to talk about a good show. A really good show, as a matter of fact. One that my girlfriend Aziraphale Angel is particularly excited to hear me talk about. So, I'll see you guys next time for the first season of Loki.
Excited for what comes up ahead. Hey, Shenron.